Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome back to the Call of Duty North American Championship 2015 presented by Xbox. Chris Puckett joined by Mr. X up in the booth, and we had such a good match down there on the floor that I ran around, talked to all the producers, and I said, we have to move this to the main stage. EnVy Optic Nation here in the losers bracket.
You have to. I mean, every person on Optic Nation has a championship ring from Call of Duty Championships. Killa, Miracles, and Karma. The first one for Black Ops 2, Karma and Teep for the second one at Ghost, and then Merc and Nameless played in the finals last year against that Complexity lineup. Just too many standout players, too many players that mean so much for that $1 million event in this matchup to pass up.
Now, of course, this matchup, we were supposed to see Optic Nation versus FaZe Black earlier in the day. Proofy on a cruise, so Optic Nation gets the forfeit win to move into this one. So they've had a chance to warm up all morning long. They're ready to go up against this EnVy squad. But let's start it off by introducing our teams. And here it is as we take a look at our blue team first. This is going to be Optic Nation, technically your lower seed in this one. 2 world champions from last year on this squad. The only 2-time world champion, Karma, is going to be leading the way as their top slayer.
And Karma is just a slayer. That's exactly the perfect role for him. Not an AR, not an SMG, just doing everything. And Killa, for me, is going to be the in-game leader for this Optic Nation team. Prior to the trade deadline, all the roster changes, this Optic Nation team really struggled because they didn't have a leader. And Killa definitely brings that in all game modes, not afraid to make those tough decisions.
This is the man that is the reason they're still in the tournament today. Miracles last night in round 11 against Strictly Business, hitting the nastiest snipe we may have seen.
That was filthy.
You'll see the vines. Nameless has YouTube videos going up. He was pumped up, fired up to keep his team in it. And of course, TP, the other world champion from Complexity last year, now playing underneath the Optic Nation banner. He's the flex role, but really, in this game, I have been really impressed by the way he's transitioned from an OBJ purely player to one of their top slayers.
Right, I don't think you can really say Miracles or Teep are an OBJ for this team. Both of them take turns. When Miracles is hot in the slaying department, they really rely on Teep to control that hill. When Teep is hot in the slaying department, they rely on Miracles. But let's take a look over on the EnVyUs lineup. Puckett, they have some of the best players in Call of Duty, obviously making that big trade with Denal mid-season to get this guy right here, Zuma.
Yeah, Zuma, a huge pickup for this squad. It's his first regional final appearance. It'll be his first opportunity to play at the World Championship. But this man, so impressive when it comes to slaying, joined there by the other powerhouse slayer on this squad in Saints. Saints, a respawn beast, a 1.13. You see him in S&D as well. Basically, he is always guaranteeing more kills than deaths, but last night, he was a bit off.
Yeah, he was a bit off last night, but Saints, a player all throughout last year, did not have one event where he posted a negative KD. Nameless, the AR slayer for this EnVyUs lineup. Time and time again in S&D and Respawn, we see him making the big plays for this team. Respawn KD just over 1, same with S&D, but Merc, the objective player for EnVy, kind of the captain, the in-game leader for this squad. I think he's really going to have to set this pace for the newer player Zuma. Really think he plays a big role on him.
Yeah, and of course, Merc and Nameless, they played against TP and Karma in that World Championship in the Grand Finals. They fell short there. This would be some huge redemption to take down Optic Nation on the main stage.
And I think just from Season 1 champs, EnVy came away from that event feeling they let that one slip. They really wanted that matchup with Optic Gaming. They got it yesterday, didn't play too well. I think if they can get back to that finals, we'll see a different one. Let's take a look at our key player matchup for Hardpoint. Going to be Teep versus Zuma. Puckett, I think Teep's going to have a big series in Respawn for this Optic Nation team. And on the flip side, Zuma puts so much pressure on the hills.
This is their historic stats from our Season 1 championship. Zuma with a 1.12 hard point. You see TP also a monster HP slayer. When it comes to defense, Zuma seems to stay alive a little bit longer in that hill, but the caps, TP constantly the first one rushing in, not afraid to put his life on the line to secure the hard point.
No, not at all. Teep, one of the most selfless players in Call of Duty, willing to do whatever it takes for his team to get the victory. And you see the stat provided by COD_stats on the left-hand side of your screen. The outslaying team is 12-3 on retreat during this event, so it's a huge stat. You're going to be looking to see, I think Karma is going to have to play a huge role here for Optic Nation. Yesterday we saw they struggled a little bit, and Killa was running that BAL exclusively. This time we're going to see Killa and Miracles both running ARs. Definitely going to try and get that AR slaying power going.
Look at Nameless, though, starting off with the AK-12. Once again, very comfortable with this AR, and he's going to be pulling out the overclock double stud, and it looks like actually a little EMP action from Nameless maybe coming through, and we'll see what is he up to later in this game, because Nameless, He's a monster slayer, and in fact, he leads the team so far this weekend with a 1.2 FAR. What would you like to see Nameless do on retreat specifically?
I think Nameless, if he's going to be rocking this AK-12, it's a little bit different than the BAL. I think the BAL, you want to play a little bit more at range. The AK-12 gives you a lot more versatility, Puckett, as an assault rifle. You're able to play in the hill, as you see Nameless picking up that collateral. You're able to play a little bit more around the hill, and I think Nameless traditionally more of an AR player than an SMG, but this gives him that added ability to play in and around hills.
Now, Nameless is going to go right back to the AK-12 after messing with the BAL for a moment. I want to point out he is at 6-2, Saints 4-1. You're going to have Zuma and Merc pulling up the rear, but these guys have been throwing themselves at the HP. 25-4 as we see the rotation to hill number 2, and it's going to be Miracles and Kill winning their fights to lock it down. Miracles on your screen watching the jump wall. Kill is going to have his hands full with the players pushing from the top. He falls. Miracles now last man standing. Great push here from Envy, and we're going to see Merc retake control.
Oh, and I think they really need to change their roles a little bit as we progress through this retreat game. You saw Miracles pretty much playing primarily on the hill. I agree with that positioning. I think him and Killa need to both be running submachine gun zone, getting aggressive. That's when we've seen them at their best throughout the history of Call of Duty. One of the best duos we have in multiple Call of Duty games. I think you're going to need to see them be very aggressive with those subs in this matchup.
Saints on your screen challenging Miracles. You got TP running in the way, and that is going to be a team kill. So with the score tied, Optic Nation still somehow controlling the hard point, 3-on-4. Envy is going to focus on the rotation, and it's going to be a big fight going down at poolside. Saints is going to fall, but there's going to be 2 more teammates. In fact, now 3 all set up to control this lobby. Merc doing a nice job watching poolside, and he's got plenty of help from behind the big rock. It's Zuma who finally falls.
Zuma is going to be taken out by Killa behind that pool rock, and it was Killa running that ASM-1. They're going to have to play for the spawns. You see players from Optic Nation trying to flood through the back of Art, but Envy doing a phenomenal job, still controlling it. The hill under contest right now. It's going to be Nameless, though, picking a kill up in the kill feed, able to solidify it for Envy.
TP so smart, pushing the back. You can see the blue arrows now spawning out. They're having to come up the hill. TP just expecting the cave push, but no, they've got some extra time. Lots of contention here on our third hard point, and TP is finally going to fall. Envy with control once again, but the spawns, they're still in caves. 16 points left here, and this could be highly contested. As I say that, though, you see Zuma, Saints, and Nameless all drop kills in the feed, and they will lock it down for the final 16 to pull away by 25.
Oh, and they're going to decide to rotate, and I think that's a good call. You saw yesterday TR was able to get a ton of time in that bottom hill, but Saints looking like a completely different player than yesterday, Puckett. You said he struggled a little bit yesterday, currently sitting at 14-7 now, double to positive, really leading the charge for Envy.
Merc now pushing in, having a pretty solid game himself. 5 captures already, leading all players in the lobby. He's going to go down. Miracles now from Optic Nation, pushing behind Zuma. He's got one more player to his right. Here's the EXO. It's Nameless. Big challenge here, just trying to contest, and there's 2 more players continuing to flood in, but Kill has his protection. Great job here. You can see on the mini-map. Miracles watching the top. Kill was holding down the front. Finally, Saints is going to break in, and this has been a very fast-paced game, but really, still anyone's game. Just 25 points separating these 2 squads. I
think if you can get a good second half out of Karma and Killa, I think this ON team has a very good chance to take this hard point. I think, going into the second rotation of hills, going to the last one right now, I'd like to see something different, Pucky. Killa, we've seen him mess around with it a little bit. The LMG, maybe if he brings it out in the second rotation of hills, changes the game for ON.
Zuma's got lots of stuns here, and the stun checks go out. TP is called out on that right door, and now the BAL is set up. TP answering back with the stun of his own is going to try and breach, but there's teammates down low protecting Zuma. He's going to get the call out backstairs, but Miracles causing problems up top with Killa once again. Karma now in the hill. Great break from Optic Nation, but that hasn't been the problem. They've been able to break multiple times. Holding the hard point has been their weakness.
Holding it's been a big weakness, but you see Karma right there picking up a huge kill on Saints. You're going to need more players in and around the hill. For Nation, though, they're playing a very odd setup. You have Karma in the hill and Killa outside of it. I'd love to see that switch. I think Karma needs to be that last person into the hill Puckett as that last line of defense, not the first person there trying to hold it down.
Killa at 13-17, Karma 14-17. Both players off to a bit of a slow start. But we'll see. Will they be able to heat up? Kill switching over to the BAL seems to have a bit of success. 3 streak here. Can he keep it going? He's going to find number 4, and it's Saints with the better shot, just a little bit to the left there from Killa. But you can see the EnVy bodies dropping. That is 3 in a row. Zuma, last man standing, 4 down, as Karma will take control of the courtyard.
And if Karma can start to heat up, that is scary for the team EnVyUs on a 3 streak right now, sitting at 17 and 17. But at UMG Orlando, Karma, the highest player in respawn efficiency, just really doing tons of work in the OBJ department and Slayer department while putting up that great KD. So we're used to seeing Karma do. And Optic Nation starting to make a little bit of a comeback here on this first hill, Puckett.
I like it. TP's thrown himself at the hard point. Miracles has done the same, and Karma is just trying to stay alive. A 3 streak now from Teep, 5 from Karma. The slaying coming through from Nation, and they've brought it within 10 points.
Another team kill out of Nation. How many team kills have we seen out of them so
3
far? I mean, it's 3 or 4. I mean, we've seen Killa take out Teep. Teep just shoot Karma in the face right there. Really not on the same page. You know, maybe some miscommunication, but got to be a little bit better than that if you're going to win against EnVy.
Yeah, honestly, do not see that too often. It happens occasionally, but 3 already, if not 4. Bit surprising from Nation. They haven't been too costly yet, but really, I'm looking for Karma to really heat up. He used to be that dominant Slayer back in Black Ops 2, the guy who would just win games on his own at times, and hasn't been able to really perform that way on the main stage yet this week.
He's more than capable of it in Advanced Warfare 2. I just think the role he's playing on this team right now does not fit his play style the best. You know, Karma is that sneaky, slower, passive Slayer who's going to sit in the back, really pick up those kills, rally up high streaks, and get a good kill-to-death rating in every game. And that's what you want out of Karma. You want Killa to really play almost like Zuma, where Zuma forces so many engagements on the hill, just puts so much pressure. I think you're going to really need to see ON kind of look back after this event. I think it's a little late now to change roles and maybe fix some things in Hardpoint.
What I love about this EnVy squad is the way that Zuma starts them off hot. He always goes off, but then the rest of the team catches up. You can see everybody looking at close to positive numbers. Nameless now leading the squad at 25 and 22. Saints +3. Merc is slowing down a bit, but he's keeping those interactions up, and here's a huge fight for Merc. Can't hold on. Zuma now getting flooded, and EnVy, they gotta fight for these kills right now. They cannot lose spawn control.
But you saw 3 of those big kills, you know, the one on Merc and then the ones on Zuma and Saints all came out of Karma. You know why, Puckett? He's playing outside the hill. Right there, he was the last line of defense, went in, able to take those players out. But for me, ON able to come back in this game because Saints has slowed down massively. We talked a little bit about it, you know, through the first rotation. He was double positive, now sitting at just
6 at one point.
Now he's just sitting at 29 and 25. Really has slowed him down, and that's what brought Nation back into this game.
Karma on the opposite end. We called him out when he was -4, now sitting at +6. We got TP staying positive as well. Here is his 10th capture. Miracles right behind him as they will milk the final 5 seconds. 8-point difference as we rotate to the final 2 minutes. We're going to have Karma coming from the top, and he's going to loop around here on the flank. I like this setup. You send 3 down low, but Merc, Saints, and then you got Merc again at the top, ready for the push.
And this is the hill where you're going to see your AR players shine the most. Looks like Saints has switched to an AR for EnVy. Killa, he's going to pull out a second AR for Nation, but you see Zuma putting so much pressure on the assault rifle players from Optic Nation, not able to get anywhere near the hill. So far, this one's been dominated by EnVy.
Saints watching that backstairs has been key. Nameless, though, with the big 2-piece there to clear the hard point. They have pulled away. It was just 9 points. Now you got a 35-point advantage and more points still to gain here. Saints feeling the pressure from the back. His teammates all pushed out for the next hard point. They're rotating back to try and provide some help. Great job, though, by Renato to stay alive. And EnVy should have this locked up if they can rotate first. They've got the spawns. It's going to be up to some big kills from Saints here to get initial control.
It's going to be tough for Nation to come back. As Saints, he's going to push into that next hill, able to take out Miracles, but he's going to be stopped by T. But you see the trading coming in from EnVy. They should be able to trade these kills off, but a big 2-piece by TP. And now Nation in full control of this. You see the players starting to heat up. Karma with 2, Teep on a 3 streak. This one's going to come right down the wire, I think.
I think it's going to be about 3 seconds of contention. That's all EnVy needs to lock this up. Nation has to play perfect. You have 3 players inside. Karma on the outside trying to protect. There's the contest, and there is the win by Merc. Saints is now pushing forward, and that will do it. EnVy is going to take game number 1 on Hardpoint. Now it's a question of who's going to hit the 40 bomb first. Saints, Nameless, all in the running, and don't count out Zuma yet, right behind him at 36.
You know, Nation, they had that hill set up, Puckett. What I don't like about how they play that is instead of pushing out from the hill, they played so defensive on it. They let EnVy pretty much run all the way up through poolside uncontested, and that's where you saw Merc, and I believe it was Nameless, jump in through that pool ledge, get right up into that last hardpoint, break that pretty easily.
Fantastic stuff from EnVy. Really, I think they won the game when they locked up that bottom hard point at the bar. You should never be able to get 40 seconds or 40 points like they did. And then to finish strong, like you said, Optic Nation playing a little bit timid, not comfortable keeping just one player in the hard point. Instead, they all tried to stay in and were just surrounded.
They had 3 players in that hard point in the final one. You're not going to win like that. But something else I want to touch on, you made a great point that they were able to control the bottom hill EnVy for that whole period of time. We saw TR twice yesterday use an LMG on that hill, Nagafen, and they absolutely destroyed on that one. We know Killa loves these shotguns, LMGs. I don't know why we haven't seen anything something like that from Optic Nation.
Talking to Killa this morning, he hates the LMG. He was so frustrated by it yesterday. He's like, Puckett, that gun needs to go. I hate it. They just smoke me out, and they don't even need thermal. They just spray through and take us down. So I know he's preferring to stick with the ARs, the ASM-1, but like you said, if it's been successful,
it's effective.
You might want to start pulling it out yourself. Optic Nation's down 1-0, but they got an opportunity to bring it back. We got Search and Destroy coming up next, guys. Don't go anywhere. Optic Nation EnVy continues right here on MLG.tv.